Okay, so this is the first video we'll be watching. It's on TikTok. I'll share like the user of this in the description below. We'll start first with Alamat ng Piña. And I chose this because, well, in the Philippines, so I'm pretty sure like this legend used to scare me so much when I was little. And this is like a recent like this recently came up on my feed, so actually this is the horror VHS tapes version of it. Oops. Wait, can I just go back to the top?
Colors were green and yellow. The daughter was very spoiled. There once lived a mother, Dot, and her daughter. And the daughter's name was Pinang, and her favorite colors were green and yellow. The daughter was very spoiled, and argues with her mother that she already knows it when her mother commands her to do something or teaches her something.
Okay, so I have heard of this legend, but not visually. So it's only by like word of mouth. So I'm gonna read this. So Pinyang's mother is very ill. Can do the chores and make soup for me while I rest. So yeah, the mother was like very ill, and I think if I recall the story right, the Pinyang was probably like I think too lazy to help her mother while she was sick. Sure, Mom. I'll go turn the lights off for you. Yeah, but she also wants you to like make her something. Oh. Oh, by the way, you know that this is like a very like realistic house. If you see if you see this statue like in your room, because like almost every like houses in the Philippines have this one in their rooms. Yeah, I think this is like a hot like a bahay kubo. Because the walls are either these are like straw walls, like bahay kubo walls, or these are just like plain wallpaper. But this is I actually know what from the mat. This actually may look like a bahay kubo. Oh, it's nighttime. Oh, thank God! It was just a dream. Mom, the soup is now ready. Oh, okay, she actually made it. Oh, what is that? Overcooked. Oh, I say forget what I was playing. You know, at least you know what, I, the mom would have, kind of expected that either she taught Pinyang how to cook, or Pinyang just did it by her brain. But at least she tried, but like, wait, you can't really overcook. Can you really overcook soup? Can you overcook soup? I mean, don't you remember what I said about leaving the gas open? Oh no. But wait, I wasn't done yet? Uh-oh, there will be a fire. Where's the caldera? Wait, it's night? I thought it was daytime. Oh, there it is. There it is. Dad? Is that you? Wait, wasn't it daytime? Why is it suddenly dark again? Yes, dear. This is me. Oh. Okay. There's that horror music playing. How come I never saw you? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, he's dead. Oh, you're dead. Oh. Oh, girl. That's a ghost. Oh no, there. Uh-oh. The pot definitely has remains of someone. Where's that young woman? She is probably dead. Where's this caldera Dewey? Uh-oh. What's going on? Why? Ah, yes. Oh. Why is there suddenly blood? Oh, that ain't good. I won't help yourself? Oh. I think that's a katapusan. Katapusan basically and that's the God for finish. So if I'm right about like the actual like legend, it's basically that the daughter was too lazy. I'm not really sure, like the version that I was told. I don't think I've heard about there being a father mentioned, but the mom was like in need of help and so on. But like Pinyam was like too lazy. Like basically the entire time she was too lazy until the mother snapped at her, and the mom was like, you know what? If you can't see anything, you need to at least you need eyes. And like the day after, the daughter Pinyang was like nowhere to be seen, and she on one of the plants that was found near the houses, there was a pineapple growing by because piña is another word in English for pineapple. Yeah, so piñang is pineapple. So like around the plants nearby, a pineapple was growing, and it shocked to the mother a lot because there were like so many. It looked like the spikes around the pineapple. It looked like they were eyes. So it kind of reminded. So it's kind of like a figurative way of like what she said to her daughter Pinya. Also, her daughter was nowhere to be found. So legend said that the daughter turned into the pineapple. But yeah, you know what? I think that's done for this video. Yeah, credits to St. Paul Official. Yeah, credits to them for making this video. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna move on to the next legend, and we'll see you guys there. Alright, editor, cut to the next part. Okay, and this next one is actually from Mikey Bustos, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have gone through this video at least once in their life, so we're just gonna have to take a look at this. This one isn't really on like Alamat ng Piña, it's more on Filipino mythological creatures. So we're gonna get on to it and watch it.
So you want to know more about Filipino mythology, huh?
Yes, but why do you have a British accent?
No more questions. Wear this third eye. It will explain everything.
In the Pacific, in the vicinity of Old Lemuria, exists creatures beyond your wildest imagination.
Watch where you're stepping because I am a duende. I also go by elf, dwarf, goblin, puede. You probably have heard of us in stories from your nanay of how we put our curse on you if you don't give us ally. We come in many colors, black, white, red, and green. But unless you have a third eye, then we are never seen. We are magical and powerful, mischievous and lovable, and say dabi dabi po while passing by our mom.
Up in the tree, that is where you'll find me. They call me Capre of the Philippines. Smoking cigars all day, getting crunk. You can find my junk at the bottom of my tree
Guess
trunk.
what? Wala lang, I'm a dick bala.
I think I've heard of this legend before, and I used to be like so terrified of it that like I've heard about like a bit about it, and then I would just be so terrified.
I'm a
Actually, okay, so a quick pause. So, actually when I was like very much little, during like one of my arts class, our teacher would like tell us about the Serena, Mananga, Tikbalang. She would actually just mention those. She wouldn't tell more about those, but then she would actually she would give a little bit of description. It would scare me a lot. So, yeah, this is
half macho dancer, half stallion. When the night falls, I'm a terrorizing force. Ladies, watch your back, cause I'm hung like a horse. Ask your nanay, but these mythical
wait. Did it flash her? Did it flash her?
creatures known to every Filipino. In the Philippines, there are mythical creatures. Mythical creatures, rap na to. They call me white lady. Like Bello, I am
I'm
white.
pretty sure this is like the scariest among the others because like of how of like the stories that people witness, like when people actually encounters her. I'm pretty sure like she's probably one of the scariest among the other legends.
Was hit by a car and nobody ever stopped for me. And so in the night, while you're on Valletta Drive, you see me, please stop, or you'll see these red eyes.
She has nice hair. She has a nice hairstyle. Also, look at this. Look at the people around her. That looks kind of hilarious, but also probably a terrifying experience. Props to the makeup team.
I should join the Voice Philippines, diba?
Part fish tail, I'm a Filipina mermaid. Sex appeal with hydration like I'm Gatorade. But if you get too close to this beautiful girl, I'll pull you deep down till
Till you're part of my world. I think I'm an ordinary gal.
Oh god, I'm pretty sure this one was the scariest of all for me. Like I would have like nightmares so much about this one.
By night, I'm a half-bodied manananggal. I come from a class of ghouls known as aswang. I'm allergic to asin.
Basically, she's a vampire. Basically, the Manananggal's a vampire. A female version of vampires.
And I hate bawang. I have long tongue, bat wings, and maybe that pregnant lady will feed me her baby.
If I'm right, there are like two kinds of this. So the one here is the Manananggal. There's another one that's called the, if I'm right, Madaranggal. I can't pronounce it right, but the only difference between this and the other one is that this one it feeds off of fetus, like unborn children. Takes the form of a woman by day, but the other one is just like a full-on creature. And
You can try to stop me, but catching me is tough. Cause the only way to kill me is to find my lower half.
yeah, so so the Manananggal, it's a form of like a woman and eats like unborn children. And she separates her body by night. The Madaranggal, if I'm got it right, I'm pretty sure it's like a full-on creature. Like there's no human in it, obviously, and I don't really think it separates its body, so it's just gonna go around as like a full like creature with bat wings.
Ask your nanay about these mythical creatures known to every Filipino. In the Philippines, there are mythical creatures rap not
I'm Mayweather.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna beat Pacquiao.
I think that was the last one in this video. Okay, so I think the scariest one for me is probably the Marananggal. Yeah, this one's scariest. This one, I'm pretty sure the Sirena is like somewhat easily avoidable unless you encounter her in real life. Then you would probably somewhat get drawn to the voice or not. The White Lady also scare me a bit. Then yeah. By the way, this is all of this I mentioned in this video. They are not all of Philippine mythological creatures. There are a lot more. Like there's like the encantado, the like enchanted people, enchantresses, and so on. These ones are just like the full-on creatures, I guess. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Okay, this next one isn't exactly a myth, I think, but it's like more of like a ghost story. So this one is Girl in Timba, and by the way, Timba's like a bucket, like where you store water in. So this is I'm pretty sure like a scary Tagalog story, probably a legend, but I don't think it's a myth, or I'm not sure if it's real. So yeah, let's go check it out.
There was a decomposing body of a young girl.
Hi, Oddings. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire. I'm your the Sapphire. The following story is loosely based on a true story from the Philippines.
Okay, never mind, it's real. Okay, and I'm from the Philippines. I should be terrified.
Now, it's story time.
Oh. So this is actually like real. The timba, basically like a water bucket.
Dala was on her way to first period when she felt that familiar gurgling in her stomach. Perhaps cold leftover pizza wasn't the best idea for breakfast. The 5-minute warning bell resounded through the hallway. Everyone around her began to scurry to their classes. Dala was already on her final strike with Mr. Bautista, her algebra teacher, and didn't want to risk being...
Is it me or or is like Bautista a very common Tagalog name? Like at least like everyone has had a teacher named Bautista.
Being late again, but there was no way she could hold out for the next 50 minutes. So off she went. The nearest bathroom was for faculty with an out-of-order sign. Tala didn't care and ran inside. As Tala sat on the toilet, she looked around the restroom. No wonder it was out of order, she thought. It was an absolute mess. A strange knocking interrupted her train of thought. She glanced around the room until she realized it was coming from the timba. A timba is a giant bucket filled with water that's common in Filipino restrooms. Inside is a smaller bucket called a tabo or kubo.
Okay, so this is where if we don't have a bidet in the house, we have the timba. We have it filled with water. Then we'll have like the timba that we just scoop the water from the timba and we just like pour it over, like, you know, to wash away any, like, you know, waste from our body. So it's like when we don't really have the bidet, we just wash it off with that.
That you use to scoop the water, which you then pour into the toilet to flush it. This helps conserve water in areas where there's shortages. The timba in this bathroom, however, was boarded up with wood. The unsettling pattern repeated itself over and over.
You know, if you think about it, like, in another way, that kind of reminds you of, like, The Ring. I don't know why, it kind of reminds of the girl that comes out of the well from The Ring.
It was probably the tabo knocking around inside, she figured. When she finished, she walked over to the bucket and began.
It's not supposed to be like that. It can't be just like continuously knocking for like how long. It would probably just settle in the water. It wouldn't like sway from side to side.
Began to pry the pieces of wood off of it. There was no tabo inside. Instead, there was a decomposing body of a young girl.
Wait, so if there was a body in it, then how's there the noise? Is that like the spirit saying like, hey, knock knock, I'm here, someone call me, or like, because if it was just like a body staying still, then where's the noise coming from?
Raced out of the bathroom. Out of breath, she tried to explain to Mr. Bautista what she just saw. She hurriedly escorted him back to the bathroom. They looked inside the timba and there was no dead body, only water. As you can imagine, Mr. Bautista was not pleased by this massive interruption. He sent Tala to the principal, and she was given 3 days suspension to cool off. That night, Tala couldn't sleep. All she could think about was that horrific sight. Did she really just imagine it? Did the pizza wreck her that badly? It all felt so real. There was also that eerie knocking. What could that have been? Tala.
Yeah, who knows what that knocking could have been. Also, does Girlie have a third eye? Like, that could be like a possible reason that she has a third eye, but Mr. Bautista doesn't, that she could see, but he can't.
Stared at her closet door. There's no way. The knocking continued. Tala crept out of bed and made her way toward the closet. It's just my imagination, she kept repeating to herself.
Could be.
She gripped the handle and threw the door open. The dead girl was staring right back at her. Tala screamed and slammed the door shut.
Either she's haunted or the girl just... She might be haunted. Like the girl's just following her.
She caught her breath. The room was silent. She opened the door again. The girl was gone. Over the next 3 days, Tala would continue to hear knocking coming from her closet and all throughout her home. It followed her wherever she went. The lack of sleep was making her crankier and groggier. She didn't understand why this spirit was torturing her. When her suspension was over, Tala was so happy to return to school and not be stuck at home with the knocking ghost girl anymore. Focusing on her classes would at least provide a distraction if the ghost continued to haunt her. The sleepless nights had really caught up to her. She was trying her best to focus and stay awake in Mr. Bautista's class. She was safe in here, she kept reminding herself. Tala's vision went blurry just before she heard. Tala jerked in her seat and repressed a scream. Mr. Bautista shot her a warning glance. No, not again. Dala watched as the door creaked open, revealing the janitor. Just coming to empty your trash, he said cheerfully. Dala exhaled a sigh of relief. It was just the janitor.
Also, if you have like someone acting like this in the class, you should probably believe her. I mean, I would believe her. Unless if it's something else. Because her experiencing in the house might have been like trauma or hallucination. But if it was like stayed in the school, then yeah, be scared.
Dala's eyelids were fighting to stay open. It is kind of strange, though, she thought, as her head kept nodding sleepily. What are the odds he would knock just like that? Dala's eyes flung open and her head shot back. The ghost girl was standing right next to her desk.
What do you think that the ghost girl is trying to like find justice for herself? Like she's saying, girl, you gotta help me for my body now. You need to help me get my killer.
Knocking furiously, she pointed at the janitor, the marks around her neck.
The janitor killed her! The janitor did this to her! Oh my gosh! The janitor did that to her!
She gestured back at the janitor's roll of trash bags. Dala began to connect the dots. The body she found was definitely real. She raised her hand. Mr. Bautista, there's something important I need to tell you. The janitor was later arrested for murder, and the girl's spirit was able to move on in peace.
Got it. The girl was needing help. Got it.
It's not all.
Also, why did the janitor do that? Was it for fun, or like, is there a reason to do it?
Always easy to know who the real monster is it?
If you don't want to
Okay, I think that was...
be kept up at night.
Okay, I think that was it for this video. Alright. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want another video to me reacting to, like, Filipino myth, or other myths in general, not just Filipino, then give this video a like. And comment down below what other myths you wanna see. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!